Yes, people, what is going on? Listen, forgive us for the lateness. It's my fault. It's my fault, okay? But we are here to celebrate the 1-2 finish. Yeah, back-to-back business. McLaren 1-2 at the British Grand Prix. And of course, I'm joined with my co-host Mahad from the Pit Stop Fracker, who was live at Silverstone. Mahad, what are you saying?
We finally won in Silverstone. We finally won.
It's fine.
Your mic's cut off. No, technical issues.
Is it cut off?
Oh, you're back now. You're back.
Jeez, what's going on here?
It's because when you touched it, you brushed it, and then it went off. It's the wire. Now I can hear something. Guys, you have to be our technical technicians and let us know if anything's wrong.
Let us know what's going on, man. Let us know what's going on. But yeah, 1-2, man. We're here. Like, we're live.
Back-to-back 1-2s.
Back-to-back 1-2s. Exactly that.
Last time since, I don't know, 2020? I think it was Jensen and Hamilton.
What
was the last time we did back-to-back 1-2s?
2020?
Yeah. No, 2010. Sorry. It's been a long weekend, guys. Your mic's off again. Yeah, it keeps moving.
All right.
You've got to isolate the mic. Sorry, this is what happens in the background, guys. You guys don't usually see this.
Testing 1-2. Am I good?
Yes.
Okay. I promise I won't.
You gotta just do it like don't touch it.
I can't. Yeah, I won't touch it. To be fair, it was a bit loose, so I just tightened the screws, make sure they're all good to go. But yeah, I want to hear about, So look, Mahad went there representing McLaren Fan TV, representing the McLaren fandom, alongside Richard as well from the Pit Stop Fracker.
They didn't need me there. They didn't need me there.
I don't know. I think you gained a couple tens.
We have the streets.
Oh, you're saying it like that in terms of like popularity.
Me wearing McLaren gear made no. It's like a drop in the ocean of papaya. We turned up, man.
Oh, so you're saying that you?
I would say that crowd is 80% McLaren fans.
Oh, word!
It was insane.
What, like more than Hamilton and whatnot?
Yeah, obviously, even the McLaren fans clap Hamilton because obviously that's our lost son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Hamilton just gets insane claps. This, like we said last week, this guy gets clapped like it's NHS, man. NHS and COVID. This guy Hamilton was the only driver that was getting claps or cool down laps in practice.
Love that. That's what he's getting.
Yeah, he's getting that. He's getting royalty treatment. But what I'm saying is, everybody was wearing McLaren merch. Majority. I'd say 80%, 70%.
Okay. Was you in the Lando corner or Lando stand?
I wasn't in the Lando stand, unfortunately.
Wait, you
would have to kick me out because I would be that guy that doesn't wear fluorescent, and I would be right. No, I'm papaya.
What, you would have flung on the fluorescent?
No, man, I'm wearing papaya. It's my color. What are you talking about?
Listen, I know. Listen, we're team before driver. Don't get it twisted. But listen, even on TV, man, hearing those cheers that Lando was getting.
Yeah, he definitely got the second most cheers by a clear margin.
Yeah.
He was getting the love.
He was getting the love. So, obviously, you have to do a lot of things to get to the Hamilton's level, you know what I mean? But 100%, yeah.
Hopefully, one day, Lando gets to that level. And obviously, one thing I will say is good vibes. Everybody's there for a good vibe. I think, the atmosphere was amazing. How our weekend turned out was, quality was, but then the race was dominant. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic to see it in person. Obviously, when you're at the race, it's a completely different. You get a completely different perception as to when you watch the race at home.
Yeah,
what's going on, because you don't really know what's going on apart from where you're at.
Yeah,
and then by lap, I'll be like, oh yeah, he's closer to this person, and so on and so on. But yeah, absolutely amazing experience. First of all, before we do anything, McLaren got a spot on with the setup.
Yeah,
absolutely spot on with the weather. They knew what time. I knew when Zach Brown said, we've got drones in the sky now. We've got helicopters 20 miles out. These guys, they spent a lot of money to make sure they know what the weather is, and it seemed like they were the only ones that knew that was.
What is
I was listening. I was just listening to the onboard, the radios. So I was listening to Oscar's radio at the beginning. They knew the exact lap and how much rain there would be before the race even started. To the T, to the exact lap.
What is it with weather that causes chaos among, certified men and women that know their Formula One, that know the sport? It's not a surprise. But why is there such chaos when it comes to the weather? Why does everyone?
I don't know why people don't know. Why people got different radars? Like I heard Ferrari's radio saying, "Oh yeah, there's not going to be any more rain." I'm like, huh? How you get that wrong?
I'm seeing men on slick tires in a friggin'
at the beginning.
At the beginning.
And then listen. I was listening to the radios. They're like, "No chance." McLaren was like, "No chance. We'll go on slicks."
No. It doesn't make sense.
So what's their plan? Or how accurate are their radars? Whatever. This guy, Thomas Dallard, said it to the lap, to the exact minute. And he said in the exact intensity as well. He didn't say like light rain. I said heavy rain, and guess what? It was heavy rain.
It was absolutely heavy rain.
So they knew exactly what was going
on. Obviously, you were there, so like you could probably see the way the weather.
A black cloud.
You saw the way that even the mood of like say qualifying from Q1 to Q3, like it felt like there were two different races altogether. Like, what was that like being there? Did you get soaked?
Yeah, no. Qualifying was fine, but the race day I got soaked like 3 times. I got soaked on the way there. I got soaked after the F2 race.
Yeah, and
then I got soaked during the F1 race. Because the F1 race, we knew like the cloud was just insane. Do you know what? Yesterday, they were on qualifying, they were teasing us because it was spitting a little bit, tiny bit, like pss, pss, during qualifying. Yeah, and one thing I will say about qualifying is the weather is so weird because you don't really get this from the television. But in Q3, or from Q1 all the way to Q3, the beginning of Q3, the weather was constant. The second run on Q3, the weather completely changed. It started getting windy. The wind started blowing in different directions, whatever. So I knew the result from Q1, the first run in Q3 is going to be different to the second run in Q3. Just because of that, because it just drastically changed.
Interesting. Okay, so
within Q3.
And what was that like in terms of just seeing the change and how the drivers adapted to that? Like, what was that like to see firsthand?
So where I sat for qualifying was near Maggott and Beckett's and Chapel.
Oh, Chapel, yeah. Okay, cool.
Chapel, so I could see Maggott and Beckett's and stuff like that, and I could see different people's approaches to those corners and stuff like that. Max Verstappen's a madman.
Yeah, why?
Just the way he drives very different to everybody else, and he's absolutely insane. He looks like he's going to crash it. So on the nose, it's insane. He's like the back is out.
Sector. I see that purple sector in sector 2, and I said, "What's he cooking over there?" Because I think he sacrificed sector 1, killed sector 2, and then even gave up time on sector 3 and still pole position. That was his.
There was 4 drivers that were driving insane in sector 2, in Maggott and Beckett's,
yeah,
and Max was by far.
He was the one, yeah.
He was just doing insane stuff. Lando committed very much, very, very, very much in that, which makes me think maybe he's more comfortable in qualifying now with this modification or whatever, because he was on the limit. Charles was on the limit. Hamilton definitely was on the limit. Oscar was on the limit throughout qualifying, and then the last run of Q3 he didn't go on the limit in Maggott and Beckett's, and I'm not sure why. Because he was looking very, very committed before, and then the last run he didn't do it. And then because it's so weird for me to watch qualifying, because I see these guys going into sector 3, and then I don't know what happens because they don't show it on the screen. So I didn't know. I was like, why? In my mind, I was like, why did Lando set a purple sector 2, and then he hasn't moved?
That's interesting. Okay, so on TV,
I don't really know. And then randomly, I saw Oscar's lap come up. Oscar go by, and he was quite quick. And then I see him make the mistake, and I didn't even see Lando's mistake, or I didn't even see Hamilton's mistake, or Leclerc's, or anything like that. But clearly, a lot of people have had mistakes in qualifying.
Do you know what?
In that final sector,
Silverstone is so punishing because the mistakes didn't even look that crazy on TV. It was just like they went wide. Do you know what I'm saying? They went a bit wide. I think Hamilton on one stage either understeered a bit earlier towards the end of the lap, and you wouldn't have thought it would have bitten that much time. But the time they lost was like incredible. It was crazy. So
Max is a robot as well.
I mean, I don't know what he was drinking, but saying that, Max was phenomenal in qualifying. Let's have it right. We need to stop letting him be phenomenal. Like, at what point how does Hamilton flop, Piastri flop, Norris flop? They all flop on that final run. How many times have you had that? George Russell put in a shift. He did.
We did that. We did that in Japan, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Both drivers flops, and then Max got pole, and we just opened the door. It's like leaving the door ajar every time.
Japan looked like.
But then, obviously, if we found out that he had the setup that was more like fixed towards qualifying, does that make sense? Yes. And we had rain set up. And listen, I see you guys. I see everybody online. You lot cooking McLaren saying, why you got a rain set up? It's not going to rain. I saw people posting weather charts, whatever. Like I said, these guys have got helicopters and drones in the sky. They know what's going on.
They do.
They spent millions and millions of pounds on this. Let's have a little faith. You going on Met Weather on Google? You ain't got the capacity to be telling us what the weather is.
Met Weather, you know.
You're googling up Met Office and that. Listen, you guys don't have the capacity to be saying it's gonna rain on our. I knew the second I landed on the track on Sunday morning, I said I smell rain.
You knew. You knew what time it was.
Second I jumped out of my car, thunder and lightning.
Guys, don't forget McLaren Fan TV on X, and I saw those images that you posted on X where it was pissing down the rain.
Yes,
and it was what we wanted. It was what we wanted. We needed that rain just to spice things up, because we know people like Ferrari ain't got a clue what they're doing. Mercedes, if it's below 20, 30 degrees, Mercedes doesn't know what driving is anymore. So it was really up to
Hamilton did a good job.
Hey?
If we're looking at if Charles is the benchmark, Hamilton did an outstanding job.
Is Charles the benchmark? Yeah, because
if he is the benchmark of the performance of the Ferrari, then Hamilton did a madness.
Yeah, his head was gone on the weekend. Charles' head was gone all weekend.
It's really good to see. You know, when you're at track, you get to see the stuff that's not shown on broadcast. Yeah. And you can see how different drivers approach. Because where I actually sat at like where Luffield is. Luffield, you can see Luffield. I was at Woodcote, and then you could see down to Cops and so on. So you can see people, different driver styles. You can see overtakes that one on camera that was only on, that wasn't on the world feed and stuff like that. You could see. Oh,
so your angle of like Beckett's and whatnot, was that ahead of you?
No, that's in qualifying. I sat in a different place in qualifying.
Oh, got you.
I was doing up roading. I was everywhere. But then on race day, you got to sit on your seat. So I sat where I sat.
Okay, got you.
From the first couple of laps, I knew Max was cooked. I said it's over.
You knew it was over.
This guy was wobbling all over the gas. He was cooked. I knew Ferrari went in because Lando gapped Hamilton after Hamilton nearly overtook him at the beginning.
Ferrari,
Lando gapped him.
Ferrari didn't want to arrive. They didn't want to be here. That's the truth of the matter.
And then
they did not want to be here.
We saw at the beginning, Oscar checked out, man. Once he got past Max.
Twice. He checked
out.
Twice.
He checked out, and then the safety car happened. And it was very reminiscent of when Lando checked out in Canada last year, and then Logan Sargent called the safety car.
Yeah.
Lando got past Russell and Max, and he checked out. Because our car, when it's got downforce in the rain, is longer.
Clearly. I mean, they put that extra press on that downforce.
The thing is about the safety car, I understand why the safety car was called out when I watched the race, like on TV yesterday, and I retrospectively looked at it. But the safety car, when I was there, like it was pissing it down with rain. It was chucking it down. These guys were just driving. There was no issues, whatever. Then when the rain stopped, that's when they decided to call the safety car. I was like, the rain has stopped. Why didn't you call the safety car when it was raining?
The thing is, I don't know, because the formation lap had to start with the safety car, right? So I think they just tried to mitigate that. Because even I was sitting there like pissed, like, come on, guys, let them race, let them go. Like, because even when behind the safety car, obviously your vision of it was way clearer. But on TV, no spray. from any drivers. No spray under the safety car in the formation lap whatsoever. Usually when the
it was dry on race start. It was dry. It was dry in the air. There was no rain in the air.
Yeah.
The ground was wet 100% because it was chucking it down at like 2:30.
Okay.
And then it started at 3:00, whatever. That's why they started on the safety car, whatever. I'm talking about when Oscar got past Max and then started to check out. Yeah, it was raining during that time when he was chasing him down and they overtook him. Then it stopped raining, like literally completely stopped raining. Yeah. Then they called the safety car. I was like, why didn't you call the safety car when it was raining?
It's just madness. I
think weird timing.
I think it's
the timing of the safety cars were a bit weird. It didn't really reflect. Obviously, I don't see it. Where I was, there wasn't much spray. Where I was, but obviously, I don't know. Apparently, Sector 3
was a nightmare.
It was a mess.
Sector 3 was aquaplane settings, bro. Sector 3 was messy. Was absolutely messy. Man, I mean, thank you for bringing us into it. Like, was there anything else going on, like, outside of the race? Was there, like, events going on? Was there anything in particular, like, merch stands and entertainment, things like that?
There was loads of stuff going on, man. They turned it into Glastonbury, man. Apparently, this is the new Glastonbury now, guys. If you guys ever get the opportunity, you gotta go to Silverstone. To
Silverstone, yeah. I saw that. I saw McLaren do something after the race. Was that on Monday or was that on Sunday? Where there was
Sunday. So whoever wins the race goes on the main stage. Yeah.
Is that? Oh, okay. I didn't even clock. Okay,
so then obviously Lando, Oscar, and Zach, they went on the main stage. This is way after the race. This is like 4 hours after the race.
Was you there?
No.
Nah.
What? I had to get home. I had to record the point. The traffic was nuts getting out. I did the whole track walk. I walked on the track.
Oh yeah.
Picked up a little piece of Leclerc's floor. Caught a bolt. I think I got Hajar's bolt as well. But they let you on the track an hour after the race, innit? So you can go do a whole track walk. I was in the F2 pit lane. Campos was there. I jumped through the pit barriers, the gate thing, jumped through it onto the track. Then when I straight away went to where Hajar crashed. I was like, let me see if there's any carbon fiber here, whatever.
Fair, boy.
And I went where George and Leclerc was just surfing.
See you later.
Surfing.
Yeah.
Found some pieces of floor and that, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, but apparently Lando got hurt. I think when he was trying to go to that was on Ted's notebook.
Go watch Ted's notebook if you haven't seen it. The jabroni cameraman. Literally, I don't even know what was going on. So basically, first of all, I don't know why they blacked out. They had like this massive black sheet across the front gate netting. You know where Hamilton normally goes on and he starts crowd surfing. For some strange reason, they just started to net the whole thing off. And I thought, okay, that's weird. Why would they do that for? Anyway, cameraman thought it was slick. Try to get up there. He doesn't land properly. He buckles or whatever. He pulls the net down, and then I think with Norris holding the trophy, I think he just backs into him, and the trophy smacks right on that same part of the nose.
He's got another scar now. We're gonna call him Scarface now, man. Man's just got bare scars on his nose.
To the point where Norris goes inside for medical attention. So I don't know if he comes out.
He couldn't even. No, I don't think he came out again to show all those guys. He lost that moment because there's a stupid cameraman.
That cameraman was a donut.
Yeah, I know it's nasty, but yeah, it was an absolutely amazing time. I would recommend you guys. I know people say it's expensive and stuff like that, but even if you just do it once, that's probably the only time I'm ever gonna go. Unless if you guys would like to give us some paddock passes, me and Peter will go again. You know what I mean? We'd like to make some content there. Obviously, they were handing out at the McLaren event. They were handing out passes like hotcakes.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I need one, But apart from that, that's the only time I'm ever gonna pay. But it's absolutely amazing. Great.
If you don't mind revealing, like you did the Friday. No, you did. Yeah, you did the Friday,
Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. How much did you spend?
I'm not gonna tell you guys. Only because my wife might watch this stream and find out.
There you go. Oh,
Let's not reveal that.
Obviously, you promised her something, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Fantastic. And look, listen. The last time I watched the race was Bahrain 23.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember our stream, McLaren Fan TV, Bahrain 23? And then the next race I watch is a 1-2 McLaren by like 30 seconds.
Bahrain 23 was dark days, guys.
I recorded from my hotel room and I was like,
yes, I remember.
lads, it's over.
You in the lobby, weren't you? So he was like in the lobby.
Said, lads, it's over.
We've come a long way, man.
I saw that car. I said, that is a disgrace of a
car. We've come a long way, man. We've come a long way. Listen, Redemption, McLaren 1-2 at Silverstone. Guys in the chat, I'm not going to ignore you. There's about 28 of you, 30 of you right now. Smash a like on the video for a McLaren 1-2, first and foremost. And thank you to the people that have been commenting on, our long-time listeners, as well as some new people on here as well. So I'm going to get through them very, very quickly before we get into the
Let's say hello to everybody. Love all of you guys.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Stefan Williams. Listen, early as per usual. Evening, gents. Fantastic weekend for us. Our first back-to-back 1-2 since 2010. Kudos to Stella and the team for getting the setup spot on for the Sunday. Our gap to the rest of the field was mind-blowing. It was.
Insane. First of all, before we go through anybody else, shout out to Drea. You was there at Silverstone. Didn't get to see you, but I hope you had an amazing time. I know you're probably watching this retrospectively. But
you didn't see Drea out there?
No, the signal was there. It was crazy. We couldn't even coordinate. There was 500,000 people there.
Bro, 500 million people.
500 million people.
500,000 people at Silverstone. That's a massive record. But they were I remember when they did like 440, 440,000 people. And I thought, Jesus, how have they got that many people in there? 500,000, they're still breaking that record. I was like, where the hell are these extra seats coming from, or stands coming from? Fair play to the people that turned up, man. You guys repped hardcore. Adam Heddle, what's going on? Evening, gents. Lovely day. It was 1-2. Lando getting home win, back-to-back wins as well, which was very key and very important. Because remember what we talked about Lando Norris with this title race, right? We need back-to-back. You're on mute, cuz. You need back-to-backs.
So if you want to win it, if you want a chance, you got to do that.
You got to do that.
You got to string results together.
Yeah, exactly. Few errors, I'd say, and we'll rue those mistakes, but still a P2. Yes, Oscar Piastri. We'll get into the nitty gritty of that one. Federico Trigo, what's going on? Hope you're well. Hi, everyone. Hey, everyone. What a weekend. A great result under tricky conditions, and I'm sure the vibe at the track was incredible. Yes, it was incredible, as Mahad has explained. Alex the Oracle, McLaren win at Silverstone with a British driver. The sport is back to its best. It couldn't get any more British than that, could it? And it doesn't. But the thing is, it doesn't feel British. Like, I'll be honest, yeah. This modern day McLaren, it's taking me a while to get used to. Like, when I think McLaren, I think Ron Dennis, I think suit and tie, I think Jenson Button, David Coulthard, I think, like, you know what I mean? Prim and proper, like, it's all class. Do you know what I'm saying? It's old.
We still got the class, man.
Have we? Have we?
Yeah.
Who's representing? The chrome. To be fair, what was that chrome like up close?
Oh, do you know what it is? Because on the qualifying and Sunday it was quite dark. It was a bit dark. The weather wasn't really good. But Friday it was like blind.
It shined, yeah.
I'm blinded by the lights. Straight away, it just glistened off something. I'm like, how? Just like if the race was like a sunny, hot day, somebody's getting blinded.
Fair.
You're blinding competitors.
Okay. Adam carries on to say, think the penalty was fair, but Piastri asking for the team swap in the final stint was not good. We'll get into that. That's a very big talking point that I do want to get into. I want to dip and dive. Rosa, McLaren wins at Silverstone. What a race. Lando drove a flawless race. Oscar needs to learn to admit his mistakes and apologize to the team. Z says, hello, everybody. Hussein, what's going on? What's up, people? Good evening. From Cape Town, South Africa. I must say, British bias lost Oscar the race. Technical difficulties, of course, as we were in there earlier. Talking about British bias, Silverstone really is that track. Best in terms of entertainment and sport. Where are you with this? Very quickly. Is the Silverstone track...
Silverstone's top three, man. That's top
the
three,
one,
man.
yeah?
How much time are you going to see a banger there, guys?
Hussein...
You know to realise this is top three.
Do you know what Hussein? Here's the thing. Britain, England, the whole lot is so... Their head is so up themselves that when it comes to things like this, I completely disassociate with it, right? So when everything, England's the best, Britain's the best, me, I'm not one of that gang. But then I go and watch Silverstone and I watch the British Grand Prix and I say, do you know what? That is that track. It's that race. That is that race. Like, it's probably the one thing in this country that lives up to its hype.
Look how much places you can overtake on that track.
Oh, it's sensational.
Name me a track that's got that many overtaking spots.
It's sensational. It's sensational. Rosa says our drivers are slowly ranking up. Lando Norris has equaled Leclerc with 8 wins, as well as Danny Ricciardo, and Oscar has equaled George Russell with 20 podiums. Love.
How did he get to 20 podiums that quick?
Because he's just been back to back. You know what he's like. He's back to back.
Shout out to Lando's on 8 wins. Time flies, man.
Yeah, time flies. TSJ Awesome says, all good. Hope you're well and good. Shout out to Honcho 1. Oscar got violated. That's a 5-second penalty or no penalty at best. Since George got nothing, I guess he's got the wrong passport. But to ask for the swap is wild. Lovely commenting from all of you guys. TSJ Awesome says, brilliant race. Couldn't be happy. 1-2 at home. Exactly. Hello to Nomvoyo. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're well. Alex says these streams are held together with gaffer tape and hopes and dreams. Oh, jeez. Don't do that to us, man. Don't kill us.
My laptop's falling apart. We're gonna start Patreon. We need donations.
For real, give us some dollars so we can actually, you know what I mean, upgrade this. TSJ also says I went last year and there were more McLaren fans than Hamilton fans last year, but it sounds like it's increased further this year.
It's just a sea of papaya. That's the main thing. That's one good thing I will say about switching to papaya, back to papaya, is that we are very visible.
You can see it.
Good marketing man, Zach Brown. He is.
Fair play. Rosa says Nico Hulkenberg, of course, getting his first podium after 39 races. It was a lot of things. So let me see. Anybody else? Shout out to Kerry Robbins, first time commenter. That race.
Shout out to you, Kerry.
You don't know. That race created many more Lando fans. Great race. So
there was lots of little kids there as well.
You
know what I mean? So if the kids are going to be like, the first ever race I watched, Formula 1 race I watched was Lando Norris, then obviously you're creating a future fan, isn't it?
Right. I got a question to you because I know who Kerry is, and I want you guys in the chat as well to chime in. Watch the Grand Prix race more or less for the first time in God knows how long. Has decided to support Lando Norris after his win at the British Grand Prix. I'm not having it. I said to her, you got to earn your stripes, and then you can become a McLaren fan maybe next year, because she went in the doldrums with us in those P9 days.
No, you can't gatekeep being a McLaren fan.
It's not even gatekeep. I'm saying earn the stripe.
But I said you got to go to the army. You got to go conscription. You got to go conscription. No.
Listen, you can't rock up
I don't
Silverstone, yeah? Lando gets a win. I'm a Lando fan. What?
Yes, man. Listen, this happens all the time. People go to a Barcelona game. Yeah, but they see Barcelona cooking. I'm a Barca fan. They go to Arsenal. They see Saka. Yeah, I'm a Saka fan. Look, people do it all the time, man. What are you talking about? You're like, you have to go through hardship. Listen, you didn't support McLaren when they were in hardship. Don't chat rubbish.
True. My hands are raised.
When you started supporting McLaren, they were winning. Stop that.
Hacking them back to back.
You weren't supporting McLaren in 2014 for the first time ever. Stop that.
Yeah, you're
Kerry,
right.
welcome aboard.
Guys, on the chat, talk to me, man. I lie. Hussein, where was she in 07?
Nah, you can't be doing that things. You don't know.
Come on now.
I disagree.
Listen, no, that's how everyone becomes a fan. Somebody, team, TSJ also says, nah, we can't gatekeep.
There are some people that are attracted to suffering.
Yeah. You can't do that.
That's how they become a fan of a certain team. They're attracted to suffering.
You lot are cooking me.
Listen, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I'm clearly attracted to some level of suffering.
Listen,
right?
bro.
I'm a Barcelona fan, so yeah. I saw legends.
Bro, I'm Redskins and friggin' Arsenal. Okay, it's not even Commanders. I'm Commanders and Arsenal.
Yeah, but you was an Arsenal fan when Arsenal cooked.
Yeah. To be
fair. So then this is what I'm saying. Okay, right. Welcome aboard, Kerry.
I said Bergkamp.
Anybody that's watching this and they're thinking, maybe I could become around, be a McLaren fan. Listen, be like 90% of the people at Silverstone. We're moving like the Tifosi at Monza.
Here's the thing,
that's how much McLaren fans do.
Here's the thing: if we can welcome Kerry aboard, but guys, I will keep you up to date on her fandom over the next couple of years. Yes. I'll keep you lot up to date. And when she gets kicked out by you lot, Just knowing it. Just know who tried to hold it.
Okay, cool.
To hold the media pass. You know what I'm saying? Federico says, can you guys get a media pass or something? McLaren, talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us like we're
Give
ready.
us a media pass once, man.
Listen, bro, I don't care. I'll go to the depths. I'll go to frigging Qatar. I'll go anywhere, mate. I don't give a damn. Sophia, what's going on? Hi, happy to catch you guys live again. Mahad, hope you enjoyed Silvo.
I had a wonderful time. Thank you, Sophia.
Sensational. I wish I was there with that McLaren 1-2 last time. Do you know what, Mahad? You've completed life, you know? Like, man's gone to a Grand Prix, first of all, the British Grand Prix, and he's gone to see McLaren get a 1-2.
Oh, man.
It's over.
I was deep in it on the way back.
It's over.
You know, I was driving on the way back, and I was like, you know, when the tear comes down your eye, like, we did it, man. I realized I could never go to a race again, and I realized that I watched my team get a 1-2.
Yeah.
In comfortable fashion. Guys, I hope you saw the recording I did from where I was sitting, where you just see Oscar and Lando drive, and then you wait 8 million years, and then you see Stroll.
Bro, that was crazy work, man. And you know,
I could see it in real time, the gap every lap, and I was like, "This is crazy."
And Silverstone's a fast track, so it's not like, oh, yeah, it's a slow thing, lots of corners, slow corners, this, that, and the other. No. This was quick, so the delay looks way worse. Way worse. Last time I was there, Lando's rookie year, it wasn't like that. So,
Sophia, it was not.
Sophia, you've suffered. You have suffered for sure. Hopefully you get to be there and be there very soon as well. Go see a McLaren 1-2. Why not? Jean Cartier says, I came during the Honda hybrid era. That is...
Yeah, that's a choice.
That's... I said it's a choice. Oh, you know what? I'll leave it.
You're there. A true McLaren fan.
I'll leave it there. I was attracted to the suffering, says Z. So why are you saying stop it? Lewis leaving at the end of 2012 was pain. Do you know what? I think that was the first time I thought about not watching Formula One anymore. When Lewis Hamilton left to go Mercedes, that was the hardest year. You can give me 2015 all over again. You can give me any. You can give me.
I didn't watch the 2013 season. I'll watch it retrospectively, and I still haven't watched the last 10 races. So if that ever comes up in like a pub quiz or something like that, or if I'm on a game show, I'm finished.
You're cooked.
2013, I do not know, and that's probably the only year I skipped.
I'm telling you, 2013 with Checo Perez and Button, that was dire. That was a dire time, man. John McLaren, big up yourself, says where was she during the Schumi years? Exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, the more the merrier. They're saying, shout out to Nicole 76. First time. I think people are taking... Nicole. Yeah, shout out to you. I think people are taking Oscar's comment to Nico too seriously. I think it was just a cheeky comment towards the FIA trophy, and it wasn't meant to be rude. Yeah, I didn't think so. What do you think about that?
I don't really get why people are being offended. Did they not get Australian humour?
Couldn't understand.
It was a question. He took it well as well. Nico took it well. These people know each other, man. Why are we trying to dissect the relationships between people that know each other? It's not like they do not know each other.
No, it's not. It's not.
And it's kind of funny. Like, your first ever trophy is bloody made a Lego. And then he was like, my daughter can play with it. Come.
Exactly. Kerry says, thank you for the love and the welcome. I'm now in for the rain and the shine. McLaren forever. I'm going to hold you to that.
Beautiful.
Z says, need them to repeat 1-2. Kill Amali as well. That is the one, man. That is the one. Yeah, hopefully one day, man. You never know. I'm late, but I'm here. I'll watch from now on and go back later. Evening, guys. Hope you're both well. Human Flies, we are living We're living it large, mate. 1-2, we're living it big. 2013 to 18 as a McLaren fan was dire. I don't want to.
It ain't dire now. It ain't dire now.
Stefan, get the champagne.
The mountaintop.
Go get the rose water, whatever your drink of choice is. Yeah, get it on ice because it's time to enjoy. Do we have time to get into the? I mean, here's the thing. Of course we do.
Got to talk about this.
What's your headline of the weekend? What was the headline for you over this British Grand Prix?
Lando Norris wins the British Grand Prix. He's home race. Finish fifth, finish fourth, finish third, finish second, finish first.
Yeah.
To me, that's the headline. And that should be the only headline.
I like that. Don't try.
The other headline is McLaren wants. You have to understand how. I think sometimes you have to take a step back and look at it from a bird's eye view This is the same race that we were roundly criticising the team for fumbling.
Do you remember?
So we have to look at. We said this last year. Last year, a lot of people weren't giving the team grace or anything like that. I said this is their first time here, running up the front. The pressure's there for both drivers. The first time driving up the front and stuff like that. Those issues that we had last year, that's prevented us. That turned the 1-2 into a 3-4. Because remember, we got the setup right. Exactly how we got the setup right this year.
Yeah.
We were good in the rain. We were good. That's what got us the 1-2 in the first place, right? We sacrificed quality. We did exactly the same thing this year, right? But our execution was better. We did not let it drop. We got a 1-2 and we didn't let it drop. Because every single person in this team, whether it be the drivers, everybody that works on the pit wall, everybody that works on the cars, everybody that works in the factory, and everybody did their job at a higher level to achieve this result next year. So you have to look at it as a benchmark. 2024 to 2025, look at the step that we made. Yeah. We're becoming a better team. Where every single time we go out there, we're becoming a better team. Because a lot of people, even McLaren fans, were very unforgiving of the team last year. But look at the progress.
Yeah, absolutely. We progressed from far for sure. My headline is simply back-to-back Lando. This redemption could be on.
You said it was done. You said it was done last week.
Yeah, because I didn't.
Last week was true before. You said it's done. Oscar Piastri world champion.
Canadian Grand Prix.
How you feeling now?
Well, I'm still confident with Oscar. I'm still confident.
Okay, cool.
But Lando goes back to back. That's a statement. After a DNF, he wins 2 in a row. Like,
I think Lando scored more points in the last 2 races than any other driver in the last 3 races.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You see, that's impressive, man. That for me, like, Lando is shutting me up with these last 2 race wins. If he can make it 3 and 4, but guess what? The next race, where is it? Spa.
Yeah.
He don't want no conversation.
I can't lie. Everybody that's a long time vet of McLaren Fan TV. Lando and Spa is the definition. It's my day off.
Listen, Lando
my day off, man.
And the thing is, his mum's Belgian. Like, the day you think, oh yeah, second home race for Lando Norris, yeah? Mumsy's Belgian. If he
wins that, then that's the statement.
Huh?
If he wins that, that's a statement. Because he's not particularly very good around Spa compared to other tracks.
Mahad, if he wins Spa-Francorchamps, I'm going to stand like the uncle, like the African uncle. I'm standing.
TV, yeah?
I'm standing at the TV. Hands behind my back. I am standing.
I might have to edit. I might have to edit my takes.
Bro, I have to take down the stream. I have to take down the stream from Canada because listen, I'm happy because guess what, guys? McLaren wins. I don't care which one you are. I don't care what your name is. I don't care what color you are. I don't give a damn who you are. As long as you drive for McLaren. If they bring Martin Brundle in tomorrow and he drives a McLaren, he can win this championship for all I care. I could not care less. Nikita Mazepin, bro. I'll even go there. I don't care who you are.
This last comment, it could be this. Because I felt like he was good before that crash.
What, this one?
Yeah. Before the 2021 crash, I thought he was really, really good at Spa.
Ever since
from that point, he's not been good. So it could be something to do with that.
Although, it's
a confidence thing and stuff like that. But because even on that weekend, he was absolutely dunking on the grid before he had that crash.
Okay, I got to pay attention to that. I'm going to watch a couple of Belgian
2022, 2023, 2024 scary apples.
I'm gonna watch a couple of those and see where you guys are coming from. But yeah, that's my headline.
Sprint weekend is a bit interesting as well.
That's going to be very interesting. That's going to be very interesting. All right, let's get into the performance individually, right?
Okay, cool.
Before we get into the comments, make sure you leave your comments down below. By the way, Kerry won't be here after Belgium. There you go. This Lando fandom will be here after Belgium. Sorry, I'm picking on her. Let me leave her alone. Oscar Piastri, P2 in quali, P2 in the race. Talk to me. What did you think about his performance on the weekend?
I think he was very quick. I think he didn't look really on it in practice and stuff like that, but I think that he builds himself slowly into the weekend. He's not trying to get highlight times and stuff. Qualifying, First ever driver in Formula One to out-qualify Lando Norris in Silverstone. Managed to do his lap.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Still made an error though. I think if we're out the error, he gets pole.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it looked like it was going to be such a close pole position. Regardless who got it, it looked like they were going to have to do the drive of their life to be on pole.
Outstanding. But I said last week that Oscar Silverstone is going to cook because he's very, very good at night speed. And his driving style kind of lends to this type of track. And for me, up to qualifying and up to even in the race, pace wise, I thought it was very, very, very good. It's just this penalty induced a very, very crazy head loss.
Oh,
I think he had head loss. We ain't seen head loss. We've never seen head loss Oscar Piastri. We've spoken about this before. Head loss Oscar Piastri, but it's usually behind the wheel. So we've seen it before. Let's say Miami 24, when the safety car came out.
Yeah,
he was angry, man. He was driving angry. You know what I mean? What else was he driving angry at? AD when Max took him out.
Yeah.
Then he just did what's that? The Roy Keane. Then I just hit Conor Pinto because I just wanted to feel something.
Just to make me feel better.
Make me feel better. You know what I mean? So he usually drives head loss via his driving rather than verbally out there. You know what I mean? On his face and stuff like that. So I could see straight after he got the penalty, like he was sliding out of that corner, out of Luffield onto Woodcock. He wasn't driving like that previously. He was driving like a madman. You know what I mean? Out of just pure rage. You know what I'm saying? And we can talk about the incident itself. Do you think it's penalty?
Absolutely not. I thought it was BS. I thought it was BS.
Well, I thought it was BS when I was at the track, and every single person in the crowd thought it was BS at the track. But we didn't see the incident. We just heard 10-second penalty. I'm surrounded by McLaren fans, and they're just gonna go boot. They're gonna boot.
Yeah.
Right. So my reaction is FIA is cooking us because I've just seen the safety car for no reason, and now I'm seeing 10-second penalty. Yeah. But when I got home and I watched the race, low key is penalty.
Okay.
I will defend McLaren fan drivers instantly. I don't care. If I hear Oscar Orlando's got a penalty, blindly I'm gonna say FIA is on to us. Yeah, I'm gonna defend it, whatever. Yeah. I would say the act itself. If we look at, I looked at the FIA document, I watched it, and then I found out that he did it on the first safety car as well, and the FIA allowed him. But they kept an eye on it, and then he did it again. Then he really gave him no choice.
Okay, let's have a conversation.
And then I looked at the menu. I got this document. I got a document of how the FIA make decisions. And so they tell you what kind of infringement it is, and it tells you this is an official document.
Okay.
What type of infringement it is.
Yeah.
And it describes, okay, what type of penalty can they get for this? So this infringement, you either get a 5 seconds, you get 10 seconds, or you get a 10-second stop and go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's only going to get 3 different types of punishment. Right? Yeah. One of the punishment is the punishment that he's not going to get is get let off. But they already let him off on the first time.
Was he aware?
No. But why would they tell you? You say Charlie Whiting days, you're not going to get told.
Because he
you're
said...
You're not going to get told, we'll let you off that one, but you don't do it again.
What made my blood boil was that he said, I'd been doing it the other safety car stop.
Yeah, and he did.
I acted like the same way, and yet this time round, they now want to give me...
but that means they've given him goodwill because anybody, if it was other drivers, they might have just slapped it on him the first time.
So is there a rule that says that you couldn't brake as hard as he did under the safety car?
Yes. Because
here's the thing. Here's the bit where that really gets.
He went from 130 miles an hour to 30 miles an hour, which is crazy. You know now.
Yeah.
You drive cars. You know
Listen,
that's a big.
that's outrageous.
That's
Yeah.
that's emergency stop.
That G-force was 9, never mind 5 when they're driving on the track. Listen, but the thing is, right? You and I know Max Verstappen doesn't get done for that. And maybe it's not about that. Maybe it's like, well, Peter, don't start adding people. But listen, as well, the safety car. Are we going to talk about the safety car or are we not?
No, safety car dipped. Oscar was the safety car, bro.
Yeah, but the safety car cut at what time? At what point? When Oscar?
Yeah, no, I don't think the visibility was there. Where the safety car decided to cut makes no sense.
The safety car left, and then it was like, lights out.
Usually you get halfway around a lap and they tell you, oh, safety car's coming in this lap. The safety car just said, no, I'm out.
yeah, literally, yeah. We didn't get ending.
I'm out.
Yeah, we didn't even get ending. See you guys. Enjoy the race.
So obviously when the safety car goes, he's the safety car. You can't just shoot off. You can't shoot up to 218.
And then brake to 52. That's slower than the pit lane. Because correct me if I'm wrong, the pit lane's 100.
You're gonna get cooked, man. You're gonna get cooked. So I don't think it's so for me personally. Obviously, I'm at the track. I don't know. I'm just gonna tweet out. I know I was getting cooked on the Twitter. I don't give a shit. If you're a McLaren fan, listen. This is a McLaren biased channel, right?
Exactly.
I think people need to understand this. If this is a McLaren biased channel, that Twitter account is a McLaren biased thing. Yeah. I instantly, if it's Lando or Oscar, I'm gonna say FIA is shaking us. This is the FIA is against us. I'm going to defend our drivers, yeah? But I got home and I watched the race, yeah? The only thing that needs to be deliberated is whether it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 10 seconds stop and go. That's the only thing that needs to be deliberated.
Then the answer is 5. The only reason the answer is 10 in their scenario is because Max...
I think the answer is 10. The answer is 10 because it's wet. I think in dry conditions, you get 5.
Because it's wet? It's only because Max overtook him.
No, because it's wet. It's different, man.
If Max didn't
the braking distance is different, everything.
If
Max because Max didn't overtake, obviously, okay.
You would have got less. And the thing is, what doesn't help Oscar? You see Nico. Nico was like, Hulkenberg was like, oh, like, what, 10 seconds? Yeah, he goes, yeah, man, for slamming the brakes under the safety car. He goes, yeah, to be fair, like, you bunched us all up.
Yeah, and that was the first one, bro.
In the cool-down room.
Hulkenberg went off the track on the first one. So
listen, I'm not saying...
know that. This is not a case of... Maybe he was, for Oscar, maybe he was approaching it like it was a drag situation. Because it's not like Oscar's not led the pack for a safety car before, right?
Yeah.
In a dry situation, everybody's got visibility. When it's raining in the spring, nobody can see what's going on.
I'm sorry, man.
Or in the back. If you look at Max's onboard, he can't even see Oscar. So
I think 10 seconds was...
If it was dry conditions, he would get a 5. Or maybe I don't think he'll get let off again. I think that's very rare that the FIA has looked at something and let it off.
No, but what I don't like,
they said maybe Oscar made a mistake because it's wet conditions. Then he did it again, and they were like, "You're taking the piss."
But maybe
that contributes to the 10 seconds. That he.
But Mahad, but that's not fair. That's not fair if you ain't told me.
No, you can't. No.
You got to warn me. No.
They used to.
Give me 10 to give me 10 seconds. Yeah. Warn me. Like if you gave me 5 with no warning, that's my warning. Literally.
Do you know what I'll say? That's up to the team. That's the team's fault. The team should have looked at the first one and told Oscar on the radio, "Don't do that. We're back here into trouble for that." So whoever's the sporting guy, who's looking at the regs on the McLaren pit wall, they need to tell Tom Stella, tell Oscar, "Don't do that again." Because you know what? Before, back in the day, when it's Charlie Whiting, you could speak to Charlie Whiting, he's the race director, and say, "What do you think the stewards are going to do regarding?" Right? If he does that again. And then Charlie Whiting would give his opinion, and then you do it like that. Then people abuse that system. So you're not allowed any warnings or any suggestions.
But
the team has to look at it and tell Oscar, "Don't do that."
But you know what, though? On the grand scheme of things, Mahad, what is the point of this rule? And the point of this, like, when you look at what was the state at play, the only thing this done, right? It's not like, okay, you know what, it made it a fair level playing field. It made it this, that, or whatever. It didn't do anything. Like, okay, cool. Oscar broke hard, right? If he's breaking 100 miles an hour, like he cuts 100 miles an hour off his time, right?
Yeah.
I understand. I understand that
you're doing a Magello, innit?
But in Formula One, we see that the aftermath is what the penalties.
Yeah, and that's a fact. That's a
You know what
fact.
I'm saying?
If Max doesn't go past him, then it probably doesn't even get no. It does. Maybe he does. Maybe he still does because of what he did the first time. Because they saw other cars going off track about it.
All I'm saying is though, I don't want to hear the FIA let him off the first time. I don't want to hear that because if they're not told him, you haven't let him off.
The fact that information's even come out is insane. What I expect is if you do something, you get punished immediately.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
That means they clearly got a system where they just allow you, but they don't even say anything.
Because it's the fact that Oscar's response was, "I did it the first time. Nothing happened."
No, but the first time, I think the rationale, Peter, for the first one, I think for the stewards, is saying it's wet. Maybe he made a mistake. Second is not a second. Doing it the second time is not a mistake.
Okay, comment section below.
That's what contributes to the first one. If he did the first one and something happened, let's say for example somebody crashed into somebody else the first time, right? It was a mistake. Maybe he would get 5 seconds because they'll say mitigating circumstances. It's a mistake. It's wet conditions, right? The fact that he did it the first time and they didn't do anything, and then they did it the second time, they're giving him another extra 5 seconds because he's taking the piss.
Okay.
And you think I agree with anything that the FIA said? This reminds us of the conversation that we had in Qatar about the 3 million penalty that they gave. The yellow flags. At that time, me and you said, "Look, it's a penalty. He didn't do what he's supposed to do. It's a punishment." But what we had to get, what our issue was with, is why is it that long? And then you check the menu, and that's the punishment. That's what they were trying. So maybe the punishment is too heavy for it. But for this safety car improvement, you're either getting a 5, you're getting a 10, or you get a 10-second stop and go, right? The fact that he didn't even get a 5 in the first place for the first one, he was lucky.
I mean, yeah,
it's the equivalent. Do you know? It's the equivalent of they're giving him a yellow card, but he doesn't know he's got a yellow card.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Another yellow card, and then he gets sent off.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Okay, you've brought football up. I'm taking it there. Martinelli got sent off at Wolves away one year, where he fouled one player and then fouled another player straight afterwards, and he was booked for both decisions at the same time.
That's crazy.
And gave him a red card. It's freaking ridiculous.
That's in one sequence. These are 2 separate safety cars.
I don't think Michael Oliver refereed an Arsenal game ever again.
I just think it's. Do you know what? I just think it's.
You know, like Behrman got smacked 10-place grid penalty for.
Yeah, I still think, but that was stupidness though.
No, but it was ridiculous. But he's not even in the pit lane.
Why is he going so fast in the pit lane? Is he all right? Red flag. Where are you going?
No.
Sometimes you have to ask somebody, where are you going?
10-place grid penalty. Jesus, that's too much.
I just think. Like, for me, he's probably angry at himself as well. Like, why am I getting caught for these stupid? And why is it only McLaren drivers that are getting caught for stupid infractions?
Yeah.
It's a stupidness, man.
Yeah. My thing on the rules is completely different.
From that point, your race is lost, man. Because Lando's 10 seconds slower than you when he's right behind you.
That's the sad thing. That 10-second penalty cost Oscar Piastri the win. That's the sad part.
If it's 5, then them man are going to be trying to keep Piastri will fight his life to keep that 5-second gap.
I see you guys in the comments earlier. You guys were saying, look, maybe 10-second penalties is worth it, but I didn't like how Oscar asked for the swap back. You know what? Oscar's frigging clever. I loved every ounce of that. I loved every minute of that. Here's the thing. As a McLaren fan, I don't like that because I want McLaren's best.
You know it's wrong as a McLaren fan.
As a McLaren fan, I want my best interest at heart, right? Cool. But I must admit, he made a great point. If you think that this was not fair, what are we doing here?
But this is why I wanted to listen to the radio. I only got halfway through it. Did they tell him it's not fair? Did they give him the impression on the radio that it's cool?
Yes, they did. Because when he questioned it, I think they said something like it was something like we're looking into it type of deal. Or like
so they were with the FIA.
It was something like maybe because even Zach Brown said it. Zach Brown in fact said that they're going to challenge it. Zach Brown came on Sky chatting like during the race, like they were asking him, the pit wall interviews, and he was like, "Yeah, we're going to challenge this." So, if you're giving the vibe that you're telling Oscar, yeah, you know what, maybe that was harsh, maybe that's not actually quite fair. Let's have a conversation. If you think that, Oscar's got a point. I don't want to
Oh,
create
but then
rifts.
what's that?
I don't want to create any rifts, but like his team that comment, guys, was clever, and I
Clever
applaud it.
for what? Clever for who? For him?
For Oscar, yeah. He has to listen. Oscar's lost the race.
Is he just testing with the team to see? These not gonna fold.
I don't think he's testing. I just think, look, I've lost the race. I'm gonna, you know what they say, throw the kitchen sink. He threw a kitchen sink at the situation, and not only was it just a kitchen sink, because kitchen sink gives you the impression that I'm just gonna do anything. Nothing's gonna make sense. I'm just gonna throw everything at it. He went in with a very strict. You know, bear in mind he's racing. He's lost his first place. He's hot. And he's asked a very clever question. This is the kind of question you get asked in court to cross-examine someone. If you think that, no, real talk. This is how people, you know, like this is where you lose your trial. Because even though Lando Norris might be innocent, Norris is guilty after that question. Because that lawyer is so clever to ask such a cross-examining question. If you guys actually think, like I do, that this was unfair, surely switch the positions. And let's just see what McLaren have to say to that.
But he knows why ask a question when you know what the answer is going to be.
Because he has to listen. If I throw pasta at the wall, will it stick? That's the question. That's the question. But that is the question. The question is
my argument. My problem with this, with the radio and everything like that. I was kind of shocked that he asked that on the radio. And I only found out after the race, and then obviously I watched it and stuff like that. Yeah. My only problem is why put the team in that situation to make those decisions?
Yeah.
It's quite unnecessary. Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
Because all you're doing is causing. And I know what's being projected at McLaren to both drivers is that we will provide a fair platform. Yeah, this is good. We're all about fairness, right? Yeah. So if Oscar feels like the penalty was unfair, he says, let's restore parity here.
Yeah.
And go racing again, right? But the reality is, what the hell did Lando do? Lando didn't do anything. He made no mistakes. He didn't get no penalty.
Yeah.
He's in the lead now. So why would you ask that question to Pitbull, and now Pitbull has to have an awkward conversation and then have that conversation with Lando? Oh, give up the lead in your home race so you can go racing again. And then you're just creating a hungry situation again. Because he's just going to say no. And then it's going to look bad on Lando because they're going to say, Lando, you didn't listen to team orders.
Yeah, you're right. Clearly.
And that's happened scenario. You two are challenging each other. You know what I'm saying? You are in a title battle together, right? You can't say, switch back, whatever, and then let's race. I don't think that's a fair thing. You're not the number one driver. Not you two are equal parity. If this was Lewis Hamilton, Bottas, do it. You've got one number one driver. If it was Perez and Max, that's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perez move out of the way, right?
I'm not.
What did Lando do wrong in this situation? He didn't do anything. So I think it's unfair for Oscar to even put the team in that situation. To even ask.
I'm not, because Oscar's got to think about himself.
I know he's got to think about himself, but you got to think about your team as well.
The title was on the line.
I know titles on the line, your head loss and stuff like that, yeah. But you got to think about what havoc scenario am I causing for my team.
Yeah, true.
Nobody on the pit wall told him to brake and get penalty.
Yeah, true.
They didn't tell him go from 100 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour. Nobody told you that.
But he asked the question.
I think if he was given the impression by his side of the garage on the radio the whole time in that interstint before he boxed to take the penalty, that the penalty was unfair. We're going to challenge it. We're going to try to sort this out. Don't worry about it. And they were on his side on that case, and they kept on reassuring him. I would understand the mind state of Oscar to say, "Yeah, let's switch positions," because he's been fed the spoon of this is you've been unfairly punished here, right? Yeah. If that wasn't the case, he's just chancing it. He even said it in the press conference after. He's like, if you don't ask, you don't get. He was just chancing it because he was head loss.
But I think but the question he asked, that's the thing.
If you think it's unfair. Yes, I know the exact wording. This isn't just, can we switch positions, please, so we can race?
Correct.
He didn't say that. He put it in a specific wording.
So McLaren gave him a bit of an assist to ask that question.
Why? Huh?
Because you know what? It's one thing to say, like, has been hard done by. McLaren don't have to necessarily say.
McLaren don't. In reality, McLaren don't care because they're getting 1-2 regardless.
Yeah.
So you're asking a team that doesn't really care who wins this race to cause some issues.
Yeah. Let me say something.
Because McLaren is, in a religious term, they're agnostic. They don't care. They're going to always step back. They're not going to try to manufacture or something.
Yeah.
And create equal parity. Oh, if you got a penalty, you got a penalty. You got to hold it.
You do have to hold it. You do have.
Are we telling Oscar in Qatar? Can you just come off the podium, please, and let Lando catch up and possibly do something and get more points or something like that? No. Because Lando got the penalty, you just got to hold it.
I think it was clever from Oscar because he saw.
It's clever. It's clever, but this is a very psychological move to test. Okay, what can I do? What can I can't I do? Yeah,
you watch.
I genuinely believe if it was the other way around, Lando doesn't ask that question.
No, well, I don't know.
I don't think he does.
I don't know.
I think if Lando only asked the question, if the guy in front of him is slow. You don't ask for outright position to go racing again. Can I get the position back so we can race? What? You can say, give me back my position. That's fine, whatever. What do you mean, give me my position so we can race? Just say, give me back the position. Forget about the racing bit.
Yeah.
So I think that radio is very out of character. I'm going to attribute it to him being head loss because the guy was literally head loss from the moment he got the penalty.
Yeah.
All the way to when he was in the cooldown.
Bro, he's had a head loss.
He only calmed down when he got to the press conference. When he had that interview, when you jump out the car, he had that interview.
Yeah.
I could see in his face he was livid.
Oh, he was. You know what? I think
and he's not livid. He's not livid at the team. He's not livid at Lando or anything like that. He's livid at the FIA.
Yeah. Bro, I think he was holding back tears, you know. Because when he's being asked a question, it's like he said, I can't speak. You know, he gave the full Jose Mourinho. If I speak, I'm in trouble.
If I speak, I'm in trouble. Which is good because if you do speak, you're gonna get penalty points. They already gave him 2 penalty points for that.
Oh, did they? Did they give him 2 penalty points?
I don't like penalty points for stuff like that. Now, both our drivers are like the top 5, top 6 penalty points. I can't be asked.
You know,
right? We used to be zeros, guys. But yeah, Oscar. At the end of the day, look, he arguably was quicker in the wet. I don't think in the dry. I think when it was going from wet to dry, I could visibly see Lando was quicker. I didn't see any times or anything like that. He cut down the gap, whatever. Once Oscar served the penalty and Lando was in the lead, it was done.
It was finished.
I think Lando, even when he was behind him in the interstint, he was just like, I already know. Once he knew that he had a 10-second penalty, he doesn't really do anything. You don't need to take any risk. You don't even need to try to overtake him. Just you know what time it is. Right, so and for Oscar, he was just trying to salvage something out of a situation where he knows that something's gone against him. He probably arguably thinks he was the quicker driver, especially in the way he was. He got shafted. He had a 13-second lead in safety car, and obviously last week he felt like he was the faster driver as well in the race. So he's thinking, I've just dropped 14 points. Yeah.
Overall, listen, he did very, very well in terms of just besides that head loss moment. I think he done very, very well over the weekend. P2 in quali, you know, he could have got the P1. He should have got the P1, and he should have won the race. So it will mark him down in terms of the ratings later on.
But he got points though.
He got solid.
He got solid points. He got P2. It's not like he's in the middle of nowhere.
No, absolutely.
Well, like the penalty put him like 10th or something.
Yeah, no,
exactly. He didn't do a Max Verstappen in spin.
Let's put it that way. Nicole says
overall, driving wise, he had a good performance. No, I don't think anybody can begrudge him that. He was fantastic.
Yeah. Nicole says, as an Oscar fan, I do think the penalty was deserved, but it should have been at least 5 seconds. Z says, after reading the FIA doc, that definitely was a penalty. Low key, I think 10 seconds was light, says Alex.
No, man. Alex is either 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 10 seconds stop and go. Do not advocate for a McLaren driver to get a 10-second stop and go.
Human Fly says it was BS, maybe a slap on the wrist, and some sort of clarification on the safety car rules. Nom says...
Only because he did it twice.
Yeah, but tell me, innit? Tell me
I can't do it twice within 10 laps, man. Don't take the piss, man. That's like doing a leg breaking tackle and then the ref lets you off and then you do it 10 minutes later. Come on, man. You're going to get a red.
Man's comparing it to a leg break. Oh my god. Nom says, I think they set the precedent in the 10 seconds with Ollie Behrman's safety car infringement.
Not a leg break. Yeah, handball.
Handball. Yeah, fair enough. Handball. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll give you handball. Double A Archer. Fair point, Nom. By the way, after reading the doc, it was hard to disagree with them. Shout out to you, Archer. In the past, I hear commentators describe that kind of stuff as a really clever, good restart.
Yeah, they did that. They do that all the time, man. Mm. I see some dodgy safety car restarts,
bro. Like, I've seen.
Don't listen. This is why I watch the races on mute.
I've seen some restarts where the guy has left man for dead, and I said, "Hang on, it can't just be that you were slow to accelerate with the leader. You did some stuff." Alex says, "First time Oscar did it, it nearly put Hulkenberg in the mud, millimeters away from Jello." Rosa says,
"You know what's the name? You know, I don't think this has got caught on camera. Probably somebody's gonna find it. But at Loughville, like Lando had to go past Max because Max braked sharply, and Lando ended up going past Max.
Is it interesting? We didn't get any coverage of that.
Nobody got any coverage. That happened right in front of me, under the safety car. I was like, "What's this about?
What's that? What's going on here?" So
nobody's gonna say nothing about that, but somebody's gonna find it now. It'll be on Twitter in about 12 hours. Someone's gonna put it on there.
Interesting. Okay.
It's observations from the track, guys.
Observations direct. Rosa says we can just say that he got 5 seconds, penalties ×2 for both scenarios. Okay, fine. Yeah, 5 each. How about
that's actually true? Yeah,
that's nice. That's nice of it.
That could be their rationale. Who knows?
Yeah. Nom says it's almost brake testing. He accelerated first, then he braked. Says Rosa. Listen, that's if you accelerate and brake. Listen.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did.
Oscar, it's hard to defend. Shout out to McLaren fan Serbia. Oscar was better than Lando. He didn't deserve a 10-second penalty. 5 seconds, yes. Oscar doesn't make the mistakes like Lando does. Oscar seems much more mentally prepared.
I will say this, McLaren fan Serbia. Lando made less mistakes than Oscar.
On the weekend.
Yeah. In the race. Just in general.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah,
Lando didn't make any mistakes in the race, and that's why he won. I reckon this. If Oscar got a 5-second penalty, Lando still wins.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Why?
Lando won't be the first over the track, but I guarantee he would stay within 5 seconds.
So you won't be the first over the track.
On a drying track, he's gonna stay within 5 seconds. He could just chill there. 2 seconds. It's no dirty air. It's all good.
True. Alex says he brake tested Max twice in those conditions. He's lucky he didn't get given a 10-second stop.
Max brake tested Lando as well.
There you go. We'll leave that. Rosa said, I think Oscar's timing...
it's not brake testing, guys. It's just safety car.
Timing of the restart
was... They say AD21.
Yeah.
No, they say Saudi 21, guys.
Yeah. I think Oscar was timing his restart before the corner since the safety car was called in late and he got caught off guard. I genuinely think that was the case. I genuinely thought
it was so late, man. Like, why are you not saying safety cars coming in at Beckett's or something? Why are you doing it so late?
Yeah, I think the safety car screwed Oscar. Forget FIA. The safety car screwed him over.
Oscar screwed Oscar.
Brett screwed Brett. That's what we're taking it to, yeah. Marino says, hello, guys. Another wonderful one, too. Shout out to you, Marino. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. Hussein says, had that been any other driver behind Oscar, they would have slowed down and been fine. Max exaggerated a lot. You can see from the camera in his car, he waited before applying the brakes.
You got. Listen, someone tried to do it to me in Canada.
Yeah.
Said I'm getting it back in blood.
Yeah. Alex
is just man games, whatever. Listen.
Alex is fighting.
Regardless, I think Oscar's been the victim of the FIA. Some FIA stewards won't even notice any of this.
True.
He would have been merrily on his way.
He would have been. Oh, yeah, exactly. 10 seconds is the standard penalty this year. 5 seconds is only for mitigating circumstances. This is a 10 minimum, says the Oracle. He's
you said more, bro. You want 10 seconds stop and go.
No, he said minimum. He said minimum. 10 is the minimum, is what he's saying.
No, but he wants a stop and go for a McLaren driver.
He said it was light.
After you know what stop and goes does to us, it would have definitely stopped to 1, 2. What's wrong? What's your problem?
Human flies. There's nothing about conditions being a factor in the rules. Is that true?
Yeah,
Is
it
that
doesn't
correct?
say that. It doesn't say that in the menu. No.
I think
But
maximum.
I don't think it was. I don't think it's conditions or anything like that. I think it's the fact that he did it before.
And maybe that he did it on max.
Two
No,
5
maybe,
seconds together.
maybe he did it on the fact he did it on max.
Max, I'd
Leclerc
say
is getting nothing.
do you think if it was Lando, they would give him a penalty?
No, it was nonsense. Mahad, we watched it on TV. It was nonsense. It was nonsense. We can get into, like when we get to the nitty gritty of it, that we're dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Yeah, fine. There's the penalty. When we watched it live on TV, it was nonsense. That's all I'm saying. Right. Let me see what Peter. 10 seconds is the standard penalty. They harsh.
Yeah, everybody gets 10 seconds. Have you not noticed? In 2025, everybody gets 10 seconds.
Slapped. People just getting 10 seconds slapped. That radio message.
Skip that. It wasn't a good radio. I agree.
It wasn't. Yeah. All right. Cool. I think I'm trying to. Rosa asked a question, but McLaren aren't the stewards though. Why impact Lando's race? That's injustice.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's why I think at the end of the day, obviously McLaren do their job. You're supposed to go to the stewards and speak to them, whatever. I think Lando's race shouldn't have been impacted, and it wasn't impacted. It wasn't impacted at all.
Do you know who it did impact and what I loved? Regardless of the penalty, Oscar did what he needed to do. He wanted Max to lose, and he did.
Yes.
Man went and done a 360 donut.
And I know the safety car thing was. I know it was a factor that he span.
100% it was. What, right after?
Yeah, I know it was a factor.
Yeah. Right, let's get into Lando Norris.
Shout out to Agent Oscar.
Shout out to Agent Oscar, man. You did what you had to do. Lando Norris, man, people. P3 in quali, and he won the British Grand Prix.
There we go.
Thoughts on Lando?
Fantastic.
Huh?
Fantastic performance in the race. Very, very, very tricky conditions. He's now won.
By the way,
wet sessions.
This is a comment I did not need to see.
Yeah, he was screwing. He's just proper looking at it, and I was like, "What? Go away, man!" Of all people, I don't want looking at our cars. Anyway, please.
Yeah, Adrian, go away. But yeah, Lando Norris, phenomenal, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fantastic in the race. I think qualifying, he kind of let himself alone a little bit. I don't know why he was curb riding at the end. He got a bit too excited. He saw the Lando stand. He just, so I mean, he got a bit antsy and that. So qualifying wasn't the best. He still got, but the thing is, it wasn't the qualifyings that we've been seeing recently. So the qualifyings where he's starting 10th or 6th or 7th because he muddled it up or he's messed up. Yeah. He managed to. If he did make a mistake, but he kept it within touching distance, so he could still achieve the win, right? And then once we got into the race, I think initially at the beginning of the race, I thought he was quite slow, and I was like, "Why are you so slow for?" I was literally looking at him, and I was like, "Bro, you're not even getting up to max. Like, what's going on here? You look a bit slow." I think he was really pacing himself, and one thing I've noticed is when it's absolutely chucking it down, I don't think Lando's at his quickest. I feel like he just wants to keep on track.
Is he like an interchangeable weather type?
He's an interchangeable guy. So when it stops raining, then it starts drying. That's when he becomes very, 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 very quick. But when it's absolutely chucking it down, I don't think he wants to go hell for leather.
Okay.
And he looked quite slow before those safety cars and stuff like that. So Max got dispatched. He overtook Max, which is not really an overtake. Max just went skiing. Pit stop was slow, so he was behind Max again, and then Max went spinning, so he didn't really need to worry about that. And he just kept in a good touching distance to Oscar, kept a good pace, kept it clean. I didn't see this guy slide off once. He didn't make any mistakes. People were making mistakes all over the grid.
Yeah, they were.
Nearly every driver I saw that was doing stupidness. He kept it on an island. He didn't do any issues. He didn't have any issues. He didn't slide. He didn't make any problems. Found out that Oscar had a 10-second penalty and just drove it home, man. Very professional job, man. These are the days when you don't feel like you're the quickest throughout the whole race or the whole weekend, and you still lead with P1. We said this about Oscar a couple of days ago, a couple of races. Like these are the races that you win to help you make a championship charge, and he did that, and he did it in front of his home crowd. Family was there, had Lando stand there. I kind of said on Sunday morning, like Lando stands there, he's got no choice, but he has to win.
Is that what you said?
He has to win. right? But it kind of just came to him. He didn't really need to force it. So yeah, I can't begrudge him for anything because he did a good job on race day and left to the win at home, and he'll always remember that.
Yeah, Human Fly says I think it was his best race of the year. It was tough, definitely tough out there. Like you said, a lot of people made mistakes. Norris, remember like Norris, what he's had gone through this season in terms of like the performances, the mistakes, and everything else, to come back in the way that he has come back, and especially in the last 2 races. Austria, I was a bit like, that's like a joker. You know what I mean? Like that's if you need something, if you needed the track he needed after going through something like Canada was Austria. But to see him do what he did at Silverstone was very, very impressive. He kept it solid. And yeah, I think Human Flies, you're probably right. It was a very tough race for the drivers. And Lando performed extremely well. Nom says ever since Brazil, he's improved his wet rain.
Brazil, he was driving in wet rain and he was forcing it.
And
he looked awful.
He looked terrible.
Down. But I think he was just thinking, I just need to survive.
Yeah.
Until the rain stops.
Yeah, exactly that. Slipstream, you got to go back into the thing. We had a whole debate on this. It was a good debate, but yeah, go back onto it. Why he wasn't warned.
FIA is never going to give you warnings. They're not. They a referee.
It's not the referee. Rosa said, "Have you seen the parallels of Lewis's 2008 season and Lando this year? Crazy.
Don't put that into existence yet, because that was a very heart attack championship.
That mate, I'm sure
that was a very heart attack championship.
Mate, I'm sure.
It was fantastic at the end, but don't make me relive that, please, man.
I think I lost like 4 kilos on that race. It was freaking ridiculous.
They're not going to black and white flag him, man. They're not going to do that. Tell me when they've done that. Tell me when they've done that. Tell me when they've done that in 2025. And apparently, it wasn't really. Apparently, it wasn't really an infringement due to the speed and stuff like that. They just didn't like it. But this is what journalists says. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know what I'm saying. I don't know. You're asking me these things. I don't know.
Hamilton Jeddah 2021.
I'm just a bloke that was at the race that got soaked. I don't know these things, right? Do you know what my thing personally is? If you do it once, you should get a penalty. I don't believe in warnings. I don't believe in black and white. Just give it a penalty.
Do you know, I agree with you. I don't believe in warnings, but if you're going to warn, if I've got a warning, tell me I got the warning. That's all I'm saying. Just tell me I got it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Max should have been black flagged in Jeddah 21.
Max. Yeah, I mean, oh God.
One of the worst races in F1 history.
Is that the one when Toto just froze the headset? 2021 was an outrageous season.
Jeddah 21 was the most obvious black flag for a driver. He should not even gone half distance.
Yeah, Jeddah was nuts in 21, man. Jeddah was nuts.
I want people to watch Jeddah again and tell me this is a Formula 1 race.
Was Jeddah the third last race in 21? Second. So back to back Jeddah and Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, allow me, man.
Nah, allow it. Nom says, I listened to the radio and he was like, yeah, I'm saving my tires when Will was telling him to increase pace. Human Fly says,
I just thought he was just slow, but if he was saving his tires, so be it.
Human Fly says, yeah, didn't force it. He was patient and it came to him. Well-deserved win. Zach says it was a full role reversal with Oscar and Lando. Oscar was quicker but lost his head. Lando was more controlled and capitalized.
Yeah, he's very calm.
The team needs to get on the radio sooner. Oscar seems to be dialing back each race to hear what they are saying.
What do you mean?
It depends how early unless you're like probably listening to the team radio as it's live and stuff. Yeah, I'm intrigued to know if that's what they're doing.
I think the team, like I said before, they should have told him it was margin. They should have been looking at the numbers and watching the safety car restart and then telling him marginal, don't do that next time. There should be somebody just on the pit wall doing that.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. That's what should actually change from going forward.
We need to be anticipate what the FIA is going to be doing rather than, you know what I mean?
Waiting. Yeah.
Waiting.
Speaking of the pit crew, what were they at? What were they at then? Did you get to see any?
You know what's so funny? Yeah, I saw the only McLaren pit stop I saw on the screen in the place was the slow one. I was like, you're not setting us up, man. I said, this director, whoever's doing because it's like a different feed, it's weird. Whoever's doing the feed there, they're taking the piss. You just want to embarrass us by showing us the slow one and not the quick ones. So let me have a look. Every time I go on the DHL website, I see world pit stop record, Lando Norris. Which is makes me very happy. It makes me happy inside every time I go on their website. Okay, so
front left wheel man needs to be sacked, says Slipstream.
No, let's not call for anybody to be sacked.
Slow stop.
The fact that it's the front left, that gets stuck. I think, is there an equipment problem? What's going on? Is there a problem with that particular gun? Is it a problem with that particular side of the car? What's going on? Because why is that tire not coming off? It's not even a put on thing. Why is that tire not coming off? Something's going on.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at these times. So we have Norris 2.39.
Yeah.
Why are they showing me Qatar? Sorry, I'm looking at it. Choose event. Sorry, everybody. This is not good.
No, I'm saying I swear I saw a 5-second penalty. 5-second pit stop. Sorry, felt like a penalty. So made me lose my mind.
Is this right?
That's a lot of things. Hussein's saying 8. Stefan 7.5. Nom says 7.
So we had a 2.39 for Norris.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 3.15 for Piastri. I don't know if this is correct, man. No, this ain't right. Sorry. Don't judge me. They've not put it up. They've not put it on the website. All it said is that Tsunoda's had the fastest pit stop.
A lot of the, the analysis of the British Grand Prix has been very slow, to be honest.
It's not. None of this has been updated, guys. So I don't really know. I saw one slow pit stop. The other one seemed fine.
Yeah, Z saying, look, the pit crew 7 5.1. That's rough. The pit crew needs to find their guys. That's a bit mad. The pit crew needs to lock in and find their guts. The last time
it's nothing to do about guts. It's about just getting everything synchronized. They're like ballets. It's like ballerinas, but they need to lift weights at the same time.
Yeah,
and then do kind of stuff.
It's got to be agile.
It needs to be synchronized. Everything has to be ching ching ching. But it didn't lose us the rest. It didn't cause us any issues. It lost us a position to Max, but I think in those conditions, always chucking it down in the pit lane. I think they did all right. I'll give them a 7.
Yeah, it wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't great. 7.5. I'm gonna go give him a 7. I'm gonna give him a 7. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah,
shout out to them. I'm just waiting for that machine nut, that like Bottas at Mercedes.
No, that would be a disaster. If that happens to either Orlando or Oscar, that's it, man. That's the championship decider, man. What do you mean you can't take the tire off? Retire the car.
No, we can't have that. Head loss. Strategists, what do we think? Did they put it correct?
Yeah.
We need Sonny Hayes to talk to us.
Strategists. Oh God. Strategists. They did their job. If strategy is talking about how they're preparing for the weekend and stuff like that, these men knew to the exact lap when the rain was going to happen.
This is a good 9.5.
This is insane strategy. Nobody on that pit crew, nobody on that pit walls on other teams had a Scooby. Our strategy was on point from the jump.
It was
extremely prepared this weekend.
You guys have given 10s.
It's fantastic.
There's 3 10s there.
And people are cooking us, saying, they don't know what they're doing. On Saturday, they just gave up a pole position. Why are we going? It's not going to rain tomorrow. These men knew what lap it was going to rain on. It rained on that lap.
Yeah.
Show some respect.
Yeah.
They won by 30 seconds. 2 cars. Comfy. Redemption arc. Because last year was a strategy disaster. That was a 0. They went from, imagine that, you went from a 0 strategy in 2024 to a 10 out of 10.
To a 10 out of 10. They've really...
They didn't really need to do anything. Once they were up front and whatever.
Well,
I think if there was another safety car or any other complications, it could have been put in a tough spot because of the 10 seconds, and I have no idea how they would have sorted that out.
You said this for years, though. Once you got the fast car, mate.
Yeah, the strategy don't matter. The strategy does matter, but it's less pressure on it.
As long as it wasn't a Mercedes one, says Archer, so it's a 10.
Mercedes strategy was insane. was absolute insanity.
Yo, George Russell can't be leading strategies at Mercedes. Like, it just can't be happening. This ain't the first time.
First of all, shout outs to our drivers for actually in the first couple of laps they were feeding back saying, "No, this is Inter's." So our drivers did a good job saying, "This is Inter's. Do not box us."
Yeah.
I don't know what these men were doing. Leclerc, Russell, Hajar, Antonelli. These men were playing hero ball, man. Autoletto. Our drivers specifically said no.
No.
Apparently, Hulkenberg specifically said no. They were trying to box him. He was like, "No, bro."
Hulkenberg nearly lost
strategy or not overall, like they did a good job, the whole team.
Bro, hard tires on that Merc.
Bro, man spun straight away.
So man said, wait, we're gonna go slicks, and then we're gonna go for the coldest slicks. Not even like, oh yeah, we're gonna try, a medium maybe, just to heat the tire up a little piece. Nope.
Bro, George is a hero, man. He's just like, one thing I will say, guys, I don't know what's going on in the Silverstone crowd, but George don't get claps.
Do you know what?
George doesn't get applause, and I'm not really sure why.
Nah, do you know what?
Very small, tiny applause at 2. Do you know like Lando and Oscar, even Oscar got more claps than George Russell. Leclerc.
In terms of Brits, yeah, George is like, it's man over 45 that like George Russell.
Well, everybody there was over 45, and I saw them in very, very stretched out Norris tops. Extremely under pressure Norris tops.
And the thing is, the Illuminous makes it serious as well. Oh my God. Charles could have looked at what Lewis
Someone said Charles, when it's mixed conditions, just do the opposite strategy and you'll win the race.
Bro, your strategy is bad, yeah? If Mercedes go for the slick and yet not even the man at the back are going on like something, try something flamboyant. No one tried it.
Lad and ladettes, ladies and gentlemen, yeah? If we had like 5 more laps, Charles would get lapped. Charles was going to get lapped, guys.
He was there. He was swinging with what? Sonoda.
I remember seeing Charles. This is towards the end. I see Oscar and Lando straight away. They were about to lap him. So wow. I don't know how he had a strategy where his teammate was 4th and he ended up where he was.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Slipstream says Russell has a real Marmite personality and it comes across as a tough.
Apparently, from somebody I know that was at the race last year, when Russell got pole and he nicked it from Hamilton, they were very upset in the crowd.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting.
Look, it's 2025, isn't it? That's all I can say.
Maybe he just needs to change team. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. We'll see on that one. Drivers, let's start things off with Oscar Piastri. P2, quali and race.
Oscar Piastri.
Is that true? Archer?
Yeah.
Nearly got lapped by Hulk.
Yeah. Hulk. One thing I will say, yeah, shouts to Hulk for the podium. We never talk about other teams like this, yeah.
Yeah.
And congratulate them, but Hulk was outstanding.
Salute to him.
When Hulk went on slicks, he was so quick.
Was he?
I saw the gap building to Hamilton. He was rapid. Yeah, you're right. He nearly did. And Tsunoda nearly did. Tsunoda was just a disaster. There was a period of time where Tsunoda was in no man's land and Max was in no man's land, and I didn't know who was what. They had no other cars around
them. They were just both. You thought it was the same driver.
Yeah, I just thought it was the same driver. But yeah, for Oscar, I'm going to give him an 8. -1 for the radio, -1 for just the safety car thing. That's just a laptop situation. But 8 is still good. He got a very, very solid score. 8. He was fast all weekend.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm gonna maybe I should give him 8.2. I just didn't like the radio. I don't like radios. This is a guy that watches Formula 1 on mute. So
yeah, yeah. He gets an 8.3 for me.
You're copying me. Okay, I'll give him 8.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an 8.3. I think. Yeah, overall. Human Fly says, I was so excited for Hulk. It was amazing. Slipstream says Lando 9.5, Oscar 8.5. Nico says Nom. Sauber must have also had that wet weather. You know what's funny? Yeah, I see Drake put out a tweet, blood, or a story talking about Steak F1 after he was showing those abs the other day. I said, get the hell out of it.
I think he's sponsored by Steak, but that was it. You just cooked him lightly. I'm not gonna lie, you just cooked him. It's wireless this weekend and you're doing this.
You know what it is, yeah? Seeing Jose Mourinho with Max Verstappen on pole, that was one thing. And then to see what's it called, Drake put out that tweet, that Insta post. I said, yo, this is it, man. But yeah, must have also had wet tire set up because that poly was the quali was so poor. Hulkenberg started at the back of the grid, didn't he? Row 10.
19th.
Yeah, he's the last row of the grid. Oscar 8.5 says Stefan. 8.5 says Rosa. 8 says Z. The penalty was avoidable, unforgivable radio message. Fair play to you. Human Fly says Oscar's 8. Didn't like the radio. Seemed like a little bit out of control sometimes. 9 says Hussein. He put seconds on Lando's head top.
Yeah, if that safety car didn't happen, it was going to be very, very, very scary.
Check this. He's given Lando.
I reckon he would have won by like 20 seconds.
Check this. He's given Lando 8.10, 8 out of 10, and Oscar 9 out of 10.
Wait, the saying, yeah, when have we ever given the person that won the race or the guy that's finished ahead less points than the guy that lost? That came second.
That's insane.
You're breaking protocol here, man.
You are. I'm gonna give. If
you want to give Oscar a 9, you better give Lando a 9.1.
Yeah.
Don't break protocol.
For me, Lando Norris gets a 9. I'm giving Lando.
I was gonna say 9 as well. It's not a 10. It's not his best performance.
No, it's not his best. No, but 9 won the home Grand Prix. Considering the season he's having, considering everything that's happened in the last couple of races, fair play to him, man. Let's be honest. Lando won by default, bro.
Did you say that in other races where you felt that it was Hungary or stuff like that? Did you say it was default?
You have to go back. We've got to check the archives. Rosa, 9 for Lando Norris. Before we wrap, whilst everybody else gives their reviews, 9 for Lando says Human Flies. I said what I said. Oscar 9.
Say no more. Say no more. Keep that energy.
Norm says Lando 9. Z 9.5 for Lando Norris. Solid stuff. The Belgian Grand Prix. Nicole said Oscar's favorite track is Spa, right?
Yeah, that's true. He said it fair times.
Oscar's going to put 20 seconds on the grid in Spa.
Good dude.
He's going to put 20 seconds. Lando won because it kept.
I definitely believe that. I think you're delusional. Oscar has. This is his perfect track to bounce back on.
It's a good question, by the way, that Rosa asked. Did Nico get a podium by default?
No, I don't think so.
Lando won, Oscar 3 in Spa. Is that what we're thinking? No,
that's the record. End of the record.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
Remember, in 2023, he cooked Lando in his rookie season in Spa.
People are saying Oscar Spa for sure.
I think Oscar's with Spa.
I think so.
Let's be honest. If we're really McLaren fans here and we analyze the situation, we look at what's happened in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Oscar, if there's nothing higgy and weird going on, he probably wins.
Yep. Max as well, like Spa, we definitely do know that.
That car is ass. Max ain't winning now.
We need to stop giving him leverage, man. We need to stop giving him leverage. People, another 1-2.
I think another 1-2 for sure.
1-2, huh?
If Lando gets P2 in Spa, that's a vast improvement on previous Spa performances.
Yeah. Very true. Very, very true. But yeah, I think we're going to look forward to that. It's not for 2 weeks, isn't it? The Belgian Grand Prix. Why do I feel like it's far?
No, it's far. It's quite far.
Is it the 27th?
It's not this weekend. It's not next weekend. Is it? Yeah, it's 19th, I think. Is it 19th?
No, that's next weekend. I think it's the weekend after.
26th?
I think it's 26th, 27th, yeah.
Oh, guys, we're not going to see you for a while.
We're not going to see you for a while, man. We might put in some pod time in terms of like, other bits. If you're available, and then we could do something like that. In fact, let's do. I don't know what you think, Mahad. It depends what you're doing the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe not next week because next week's a bit peak, but maybe the 22nd. We'll get like maybe a Q&A or something.
Guys, what should we do? A Q&A, guys?
Shout us on the chat. Sprint weekend as well, as someone's mentioned.
Oh yeah, sprint, so it could be weird.
It will be weird.
Let's see what Oscar can do.
Lando 2, Oscar to win
Lando.
sprint and race. Yeah, but
Lando's
no,
the
you
best
know,
driver.
it'll be them ones, innit? It'll be like friggin' Leclerc will win the sprint, bro. It'll be like the sprint weekends are just weird. Mid-season review says Z. You know,
Should we do a mid-season review?
half
Are we halfway? I think we're halfway.
yeah, we are. We've done 12 out of 24.
After summer break, well, we don't know yet. We'll decide.
The summer break is not till August. I've already put out my mid-season rankings for the top 5 drivers of the season on Peter on Pole channel. The worst 5 coming out on Friday, and then I'll do the top 5 teams, bottom worst teams as well.
We gave you a long stream today.
We gave you a long one though, innit? We had to. So 1-2 in Silverstone.
We'll decide, and then we'll post a makeup.
We'll come back. We'll come back to you. We need to discuss the championship battle. It's literally our drivers. Listen, early doors. I said to man, look, constructors done, and I believe Oscar's got this. But yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. You guys have been sensational, and it's been a great weekend for McLaren fans everywhere. Back-to-back 1-2s, and a 1-2 in Silverstone since what, 2000?
Yeah. So it's what, Coulthard Hakkinen times?
Coulthard Hakkinen, yeah. So
these guys are going in the history books, man. They're going in the McLaren history books.
Take a break, guys. We'll be here. We will be there. Guys, it's been sensational. Thank you very much for joining us. Mahad, thank you very much as well, representing us out there at Silverstone as well. Lando Norris is your race winner, and it was a McLaren 1-2 redemption at Silverstone. Until next time, we are out, people. Peace.